Hello team, have you ever looked at ClickUp and thought, what's the difference between relationships, links, dependencies, and rollups? These four features can sound very similar because they all connect things in ClickUp, but they each have a different purpose. And if you use the wrong one, your workspace can quickly become ambiguous and difficult to report on. So in the next few slides, I'm going to break down all four in a simple, practical way. I'll show you a real example from a client, and by the end, you'll have some simple rules for knowing which one to use and when. The first, relationships. Think of these as structured connections between things. For example, this project belongs to this client. They work both ways. You can report on them, and they always allow you to use rollups. The second is dependencies. These are all about sequence and timing. For example, a task must be finished before a task can start. You'll usually see terms like blocking or waiting on. So don't use dependencies to show ownership. Third is links. These are the simple option. Think of them as saying these two things are related. Here's a link. There's no real structure or reporting power. They're best when you just need to give someone a little extra context. And finally, rollups. Rollups let you bring information from one connected item into another. For example, you could connect a project to a client and then use a rollup to show information about the client directly on the project. So the easiest way to remember is relationships connect, dependencies sequence, links point, rollups. Rollups bring information across. Here's a structure that almost every service business can use. You might have 5 main lists: organization or client, deals, projects, invoices, and tickets. Each list has its own information and field, but in the real world, these things are connected. A client can have multiple deals, multiple projects, invoices, and support tickets. That's where relationship custom fields come in. They let us connect these lists in a clear and structured way. One organization can have many deals and many projects, and one project can have many invoices and many tasks. Once those relationships are set up, we can use rollups to bring useful information together. For example, we can show the total value of all deals for a client, the status of their project, the number of open tickets. This structure reflects how real business actually works. The key is to use the right type of connection. If you use simple links or dependencies where relationships are needed, the data can become messy and reporting becomes much harder. Here are some simple rules you can remember. First, use relationship fields for your main business structure. Use them when two things are connected in the real world. For example, organizations have deals and projects. Projects have invoices and tickets. Second, use dependencies for workflow and timing. Use them when one task needs to happen before another task can start. For example, task A must be finished before task B can begin. Third, use simple links when you just need some extra context. If you simply want to say this task related to this task, a link is usually enough. And finally, use rollups when you want to summarize information from client items. Let's make 4 ideas really easy to remember. Relationships give you structure. They create the backbone of your data and show how different things are connected. Dependencies give you a sequence. They show the order of work, what needs to happen first and what is blocking the next step. Links give you context. They're simple connections you can use when you just want to point someone to another task without creating a formal relationship. Rollups give you insight. They bring useful information like numbers, totals, or statuses from relationships you've already created. So remember, relationships equal structure, dependencies equal sequence, links equal context, and rollups equal insight. When you use each of these for the right purpose, ClickUp becomes much cleaner and easier to manage. It starts working more like a proper system for your business instead of just collection of connected tasks. Okay, let's review the practical implementation. All right, team, let's move into the practical implementation. As you can see that we have the name of an organization. Let's view the relationships. We have a contact person column. We have two names, Nicole James and Russell Williams. Furthermore, we have another dependency column. This has a number of services regarding ClickUp. So what we've done, that the contact person and the services column, they're actually separate lists, which we've simply connected. Here's the contact list, and here's the services list of all the ClickUp services. We've simply managed to connect all these services into the new deals list. So you can select all the columns from here. All right, so let's make another relationship column. So relationship. So let's click any task on workspace. Let's move to statuses. So let's put active projects. So I put Rollup field as statuses. So what this does is that once we go through the list, and you can see, you were able to see the status column right on the right side of the name. So here's the active column. Let's move it where other important columns are. Okay, so let's put anyone. Let's put the introduce quarterly training. So, so it pops up for the payment, but we are currently doing the free version, so it's easier for all the people watching. So what this does is that it creates the status, and status can be seen whenever you click on any of the tasks. So currently it's empty, but you will be able to see the statuses once that is added. So currently the paid version, we are not using it so that everyone gets to learn without the paid version. All right, so let's also look at the dependency tasks. So we've opened the service. Let's add links and dependency tasks. So over here, so we can add blockers. So this task blocks. So this task blocks this task. Let's add another one. The task is blocked by another task. You can see the blockers here and the dependencies of this task from services. Okay, let's also look at the link. So this is a link. It's not a dependent on any task. So it's just for reference. Usually in the software industry, we do link tasks just to show that a similar task was created, or the person working on the task might find information on the link useful. So let's add the task. All right. So you can see the double arrows here. This shows that these are relationship columns and they are being connected with other lists or other places. So that's all. Thanks a lot.